Today I want to talk about meal planning for writers. Now, as we are currently in Preptober, which is October, right before NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month, where writers from all around the world try to write 50,000 words or more in 30 days. So I wanted to talk today about meal planning because when you are taking on this particular challenge, there are a lot of decisions that you probably don't need to be making at all times like you would on a normal day. So, writing 1,667 words may be a lot for you, and taking the guesswork out of prepping food for you and your family is one step to make NaNoWriMo a success. Typically, I'm not the type of person who does meal planning, but when I am about to start a writing project, a drafting project, I try to take as many decisions out of my brain as possible. And one of those decisions is meal planning. So typically I have to plan at least 2 meals a day, sometimes 3, depending on if it's a weekend or a day off for kiddo. So taking this out of my mind is such a relief when I'm able to do so. If you are new here, hi, my name is Katlyn Duncan. I am an author, ghostwriter, and systems nerd, and I love sharing all of the tools and productivity tips to help writers just like you succeed in life and publishing. So I'm going to give you a couple tips today and one special tool that I use for meal planning. Now, the first thing about meal planning is that it's definitely a time saver. By having meals planned out in advance, like I said, you eliminate the stress of daily decision making and last minute scrambling for ingredients. It definitely can free up our time that you can invest in your writing. Now, the next thing is energy preservation. So I know at the end of the day, I am fully drained of all decision making and a lot of my energy. Now, with proper meal planning, you can make it easier to eat what you should be eating. And I know it's easy to just go on Grubhub or Uber Eats and just order something, but typically when we're doing that, we're not ordering what's best for us. So by meal planning ahead of time, you already have that decision made for you, and you can go and eat the food that you want to be eating during this time, especially since it's a big creative drain throughout the month of November when you're doing NaNoWriMo. In addition to that, we are creating good health benefits for ourselves. So we can ensure that we're eating well-balanced, wholesome meals. And by making healthier choices, we provide ourselves with the physical and mental stamina to tackle all of the writing challenges. How can you implement meal planning in your life, whether it's just for NaNoWriMo or all throughout the year? So I recommend designating a specific time each week to regularly plan your meals. This can be on the weekend when things tend to be slightly less chaotic, or whatever fits into your schedule, any free moment during your week. I recommend creating a menu. So whether or not you stick with that specific menu, having a list of choices in each section of the day, so breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, consider meals that are easy to prepare. They require minimal ingredients or ingredients that you always have on hand, and some that can be made in bulk for leftovers. I love leftovers because a microwave meal is much more simple than doing a meal from scratch. The next tip is to make your shopping list based on your menu. So that way you'll have everything that you need when you need it, and you won't have to make a last minute stop at the grocery store, which again takes up your creative time. Now, we're planning ahead, but it's also important if you're able to prep ahead. So whenever possible, prep ingredients or even full meals in advance. So that could include chopping vegetables, marinating any meats that you're using, or even pre-cooking some meals and putting them in the refrigerator for another day. So this saves precious minutes when you're pressed for time and also suffer from decision fatigue. And the next tip is to embrace slow cookers, and one pot wonders. Meal planning and meal prepping and eating is one thing, but when it comes to cleaning up, that's a whole other thing entirely. So I love using a slow cooker. It's just in my one pot, and I just have to clean that one thing. And also one pot or one pan recipes. So you just have to clean one pan and probably a utensil or two when you're at the end of your meal prepping. And you can utilize them to your fullest potential by preparing meals that can sort of sit and cook while you are focused on your writing goals. Now, I wanted to share with you one of my favorite apps to use for meal planning, and that is Hungryroot. So throughout the years, I have used many different meal prepping services. With Hungryroot, I love their choices and I love how healthy the recipes are. And the fact that you can buy recipes and groceries, I absolutely love that. So I look at my Hungryroot every Friday morning for the next week and I see what I want to buy. And there are a bunch of different options within Hungryroot that you can filter by. Now I'm going to jump over to my browser menu right now and show you Hungryroot and how I use it for myself. Okay, so this is the main screen of Hungryroot. Like I said, I tend to use the app, but I figure it's a little easier to show you on the website. So you can make all of your customizations up front. They ask you a ton of questions, what foods you like to eat, what restrictions you have. There are restrictions for gluten-free, vegan, everything like that, which is fantastic. But like I said, I really love how there is a grocery section as well, so you can get fresh produce. Kiddo loves these microwave-ready potatoes, super easy for mama to make. And they have all of these things. I love their salad kits, super easy. They have fresh fruit. I've never had an issue so far with Hungryroot and any of their produce. Everything's been really fresh and delicious. I would let you know if I had any issues here. You can also buy extra meats if you want something outside of the recipes. There's really a ton of options for different diets and different recipes and groceries. So under recipes, these are going to be a little more personalized to me based on the weeks that I have been using Hungryroot, which has been a long time. So you can look at all the different types of food here, and it is endless that it goes down. But right here is what I tend to look at when I want to filter things. So like I said, they have dietary needs such as vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, dairy-free, gluten-free, soy-free, tree nut-free, peanut-free, egg-free, shellfish-free, and then you can filter by protein, nutrition, if you're looking at low-cal, carb conscious, less sugar, high protein, less sodium, different spice levels. And they have featured, cook time. Gotta love that. I try to keep it, if possible, 5-10 minutes. That's always super helpful for me when I have a writing deadline. And then they have cooking appliances as well. So they have some air fryer recipes, which I've been trying out lately, and slow cooker, grill, stuff like that. So it really encompasses a lot of the things that we've been discussing during this video about meal planning for NaNoWriMo. So taking care of ourselves is definitely as important as taking care of our families. So by prioritizing meal planning, meal prepping during NaNoWriMo, even if you don't use Hungryroot or any meal delivery service, is super important. We want to ensure that we have enough time and energy to immerse ourselves in our writing projects. So definitely try to at least maybe a week or two in November, try planning out your meals, make sure you nourish your body, and that way we can definitely unleash our creativity on the blank pages. And I wanted to mention that I do have a link for $50 off your first order of Hungryroot. You can check that link out in the description box below. It is an affiliate link, so I appreciate your support. And I look forward to bringing you more Preptober tech tips next week. I'll see you then.